basically, it appears that after the assassination of JFK, Israel became more aggressive.
Yeah.
And I know that it may seem like it was a long time ago for some people, but I just want to remind everyone, my parents were alive when JFK was assassinated.
Hmm.
So it really wasn't that long ago.
Hmm.
And look how much the state of Israel has done since then. The illegal settlements in the West Bank, driving the Palestinian people out of their home,
Hmm.
occupying people in Gaza, limiting their access to water, giving them dirty water,
Hmm.
limiting electricity, which hospitals need to use electricity. So much has happened in that short amount of time. This isn't like, it's different. Like if I talk about slavery, because that's like hundreds of years ago. But
Hmm.
when we're talking about the state of Israel, the creation of Israel, the Nakba, and moving forward, and then
Hmm.
the assassination of JFK,
Hmm.
that really was not that long ago. And this is what I want people to fully grasp. Like a lot has happened in a short amount of time.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And my South African friend Mpo, I was in Syria with Mpo, and the South Africans say that apartheid against Palestinians in Israel is worse than apartheid in South Africa was. This is a representative from the African National Congress. Um, so it's really severe, and I think there's no security for Israelis. They're sitting on a perpetual powder keg, and it's like Professor Mazen Kumsia said. The uprising on October 7 was totally predictable. You can't compress people in a prison camp, in a concentration camp like that for year after year after year, and not have an explosion at some point. So it was inevitable, and there's no solution to it. Israel says they want to eliminate Hamas. You can't eliminate Hamas. That's a movement. What they're doing is killing as many Palestinians as they can. There's over 20,000 that are named killed. That's not counting all the ones who are unnamed under the rubble. That's not counting all the 100,000 who are injured, some of whom will die because there's no hospitals. That's not counting all the disease. So it's a tragic situation that could have been possibly avoided if JFK had lived and won a second term in 1964. He would have been president until 1968. He was trying to chart a new U.S. foreign policy. He wanted Israel to come to a resolution of the Palestinian refugee issue, and if they had done that, if they had not got the nuclear bomb and waged their aggressive attacks on neighboring countries, who knows? Things could be very different.
Rick, why do you think that, given what we know now about JFK and his position on Israel, why do you think that RFK Jr. is so staunchly supporting Israel to the point where it's painful to watch, to be honest with you? He has gone as far as to smear the Palestinian people. I'm not sure if you saw the interview that he had on Breaking Points, but he said that Palestinians are the most pampered people in the world. Why do you think he has this position?
I have some people say it's his chief advisor is there's a rabbi who's his chief advisor who's also given him his education on the Middle East. But it's bewildering to me because on many issues he comes across as quite well informed and intelligent, and even on the issue of Syria and the U.S. support for the quote unquote moderate rebels who were basically terrorists. He had a good position against U.S. intervention, against U.S. bases in Syria. So why he is so out to lunch on Israel to an absurd extent is a mystery.
Yes, and he even refuses to have this conversation with people who want to educate him about it. Max Blumenthal has offered to have this discussion with him. He's not willing to have this discussion with people, particularly on the left, that support the Palestinian struggle. And it's very strange, given what I know now, thanks to your article about JFK. And if I know this, if you did the research, you looked this up, if I know this now, and you know this, I'm pretty sure RFK Jr. probably knows this too.
Mhm. I doubt he does, to be honest, because a lot of the stuff has been hidden, and like you have to look at the actual letters between Ben Gurion and JFK, and they've been top secret. And it's only in recent years that they've been disclosed. So they're at the National Security Archive, and I have links in the article to the specific letters. But one almost has to read it to grasp. And as soon as you do read it, it's very easy to see, wow, this is an intense conflict. But I think it's not well known. For example, the book that I was telling you about, which is so outstanding in many respects, JFK and the Unspeakable, there's nothing on Israel in there. Now he does do a good job of documenting JFK's policy of friendship toward Gamal Abdel Nasser and the support for Algerian independence, but the points we're bringing up here about Israel are not in the book, so it's really not well known.
Even when it comes to, I remember when we learned about JFK in school, this was never mentioned about JFK. Yeah. So it's really interesting. It's great that these documents have been unsealed. And I really do believe, like, reading over this, I really do believe like this is part of the reason that JFK was assassinated, in my opinion. I thought of other reasons before. I thought like maybe because he wanted more like social programs. I know he gave a speech about that before, but now that I know this, I feel like this might be more so the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the case. This was a big, the Zionists in Israel had a huge motive